up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another late night segment, the late night show, Dr. Kojo. It's been a while since I've been on live stream, so I'm super excited to be back. Very, very grateful for this community that we have here, and I'm just happy to be back. We're gonna be back now on a weekly basis. I'm planning to do these things once a week, every Monday night. So I'm super happy to be here. I'm very grateful for every single person. Thank you for everybody who was checking in on me when I was out, sending messages and DMs and emails. I appreciate you all. I love y'all so much, and I'm happy to be here. So I'm ready to get back into it. We have some we have some good stuff lined up for y'all tonight. Some really good stuff. But before we get into it, let's go ahead and open up the same way we do every single live stream. Go ahead and let me know what your name is in the chat, and let me know where you're checking in from. Like I said, my name is Kojo Sarfa. I'm checking in from what was a sunny day here in Los Angeles, California. So I'm so excited to be here, and let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. So Alexis, I'm gonna give my not Alexa. Alexis.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Ridiculous. I'm gonna give my 3 mental health tips, and then we'll talk about this. You know, please stay on for the after my 3 mental health tips, but we'll talk about OCD and intrusive thoughts. But I will just say that when you struggle with something like this, it's very helpful to not judge yourself, especially if some of the intrusive thoughts are kind of embarrassing. Tanya Turner, what's up, Tanya? Faith, what's going on, Faith? Alexis's first. Oh, she's first time on the live. That's awesome. Where are you checking in from? Tanya's checking in from Tennessee. We got Faith in South Carolina. Detroit, Michigan in the house. Good night. How you doing? Alexis, we'll get you right. Don't worry. Diane from Niagara Falls. Alexis, we'll get you right. New Orleans in the house. Atlanta in the house. Trish, what's going on, Trish? Congrats on the baby in advance. George checking in from Canada. Leilani, one of the moderators, checking in from Tennessee. What's up? What's up? Julie Lewis checking in from Greeley, Colorado. Elia checking in from Maryland. That's a really nice name. I've never seen it before. Sayonara checking in from Mexico. Christian checking in from Dubuque, Iowa. I hope I didn't mess that up. I'm sorry. Katrina checking in from Kansas City. Tracy from Vegas. 60th anniversary of Route 91. I'm not familiar with Route 91. I'm probably gonna go and brush up on my history. But it's so lovely to see everybody in here. I'm happy. Let's get the energy up. Let's get the energy up. I'm excited to be here. I'm super happy to be back. Philippines in the house. Philippines in the house. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's go and get into it. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Penelope from Michigan joined just in time. All right. So 3 things to do when your mental health is low, right? So if you've been keeping up with the goatee is gone. I know. I play guitar. I'm really good at it. We'll let you know that. But 3 things to do when your mental health is low, right? So on this channel, we talk about the signs and symptoms that your mental health might be declining. If y'all want to, we can review that again. All right. But when your mental health is low, or you feel like it's coming down a little bit, what are a couple of things that we can do? And none of these things have to do with going to a doctor. None of this has to do with, taking meds. This is simple, practical stuff that you can do right here, right now, from wherever you're at. Sonia in Connecticut can do this. Don D.D. Jones, first time seeing you as well. Don can do this from West Monroe, Louisiana. Don, happy to have you here. Self-care, exercise, good diet. Those are all amazing things. And those are correct answers. Let me start with the first one on my list right here. The first thing to do when your mental health is declining, hang around positive people, right? And I already know what y'all are going to say. Some of y'all are going to come in here and say, I don't have positive people in my life. Well, if you don't have positive people in your life, do you have positive people online, or do you have people at work? So what are you doing? But can you hang around positive energy? Because when your mental health is low, right? And when you're depression is getting the best of you, right? What's going to happen? Your thoughts are more negative. it's hard to be happy. Everything is harder to do. The small things are really hard to do, right? So hanging around positive people can be really, really good for your mental health because they help you it's a reminder of who you are, right? Not allowing yourself to be defined by regardless anything that's going on, right? Regardless of what's going on, you're still that person. And you could be in the worst depressive funk known to man, right? You haven't showered in 3 weeks, haven't brushed your teeth in a month, dental bill is just going sky high, regular bills are piling up, even in that state, you still deserve, love, grace, compassion, understanding, and hanging around positive people will really help you out with that. So I do want to mention that. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. I take a hot bath will work. Julie says, I need help finding self-care. Nothing seems to help or make me happy. So Julie, that's what you're saying at this moment right now, but you might just be in a funk, right? When we're in these funks, sometimes you think to yourself, like you'll ask yourself, like, wow, have I ever like had like joy in my life before? Like you really get down on yourself, right? So one thing at a time. Let me see. My husband has been struggling with intrusive thoughts too. Tanya, that does seem like it's anxiety. Of course, I cannot diagnose y'all from my living room in California, but we may have to talk about intrusive thoughts more because that's what I'm getting. But intrusive thoughts can be very embarrassing, so do not let that define you. And let me start taking some notes. Intrusive thoughts. And that's what I miss about the live stream, because when I'm doing the live stream, like I'm able to keep my ear to the streets. Like I can see what's going on, I can kind of get a pulse for what people want to learn about. So, that's super cool. Alexis, yeah, this is a super cool platform. And when I was in high school, so I have ADHD. I'm not sure how new you are to my channel, but when I was in high school, I was the only kid with ADHD. I swear it was just me, right? And all the other kids, if they had it, they must have had medications and all that stuff. But I had to figure out stuff on my own. So I pretty much, I'm grateful for, an amazing support system, wonderful parents. My siblings are amazing. And I was able to kind of thug it out, So just because I was able to thug out mental illness doesn't mean that you have to. So with what I've learned, it's my goal to help educate you all on the internet for free. Educate and entertain. Well, entertain, then educate, because I have to catch your attention first. And then when we're laughing about the dance or whatever, then we can learn about this stuff. So I appreciate your attention. Mariella says, identify medicine people versus talk. Yeah, Mariella, Mickey, Ficky. Yeah, some people, and we throw around this word toxic. Like who's really toxic? I'm sure in somebody's story, I'm a toxic person. I'll be the toxic Mickey Ficky for somebody, right? But there's people in our lives who maybe they're going through their own trauma or whatever it is. They're not right for you at that moment. Maybe we call it toxic, whatever. But certain people, based off of where they are in their journey, we may have to just separate ourselves from them, right? Maybe not throw them out, but like, I got to be here and you be over there because I'm trying to take care of a couple of things. Self-care can be anything that makes you feel good. Mine is my skincare routine, taking walks in nature, crocheting, reading. Those are things that make me feel good and fill my cup to be a good wife and mom. I like that. And I got to give you the first love of the show. The first love of the show since I've been back. Gwendolyn says, hanging around positive people helps me to connect with a positive person within me. Even if I haven't seen that side of me for a while, it's a little reminder that I'm still in there. I like that. Diane says, change of thought. I am not worthy becomes I am worthy. I like that too. Sorry, send a text. Begin distracted. All right, Mickey Ficky. Yeah, it's all about reframing, Alexis. Mickey Ficky. Hey, nothing has changed. It's still Mickey Ficky over here. Those anxious, intrusive thoughts or something else. They also I was thinking my spiritual awareness and then my dissociating was over the top day. Apparently I had a conversation that I didn't remember completely that I haven't done in years. And sometimes it happens like that, but it's very important for us to be really, really kind to ourselves. You know, that's what I've learned to be pretty hard. Like it's one thing to be kind to other people. Like my mom taught me that. But being kind to myself is something that I'm learning about. Sayonara says, "Is it good to do and or listen to dark humor if I'm not at my best?" So Sayonara, this is a very specific question based off of like you. It's based off of how you cope, you know. So I like dark humor sometimes. I just depend if it's funny, it's funny to me. Like if it's more funny than dark, then I'm okay with that. But as a comedian myself, I use humor all the time. But for some people, you might just not find it funny. So if you don't find it funny, then that's okay. So it's probably like a you thing, you know. Probably Trish, thank you for asking that. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. My mom is doing good. Yeah, I call my parents regularly just to check in on them, you know. And I'm not sure I don't know what my calendar looks like, but at some point I get to go back to Tennessee and hang out with the family. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to, you know, hanging out. I'm a mama's boy. I want to hang out with my mom and my dad, and I'm a mama's boy. You feel me? Hey, I'm the one who commented that I brushed my teeth finally, and I've been proud of that. And your videos make me smile, and thank you so much. I've finally been medicated for my Jody. I really appreciate you. And these comments, I really don't know what to do with these comments because they make me feel really good. And I need these comments, especially on a day where, let's say, life is life for me, or if I'm going through like a rough time or whatever, you know, when life is life and I know I can look back at these comments and feel proud of myself. Like, okay, I am making a difference on the internet. So these comments are like my favorite ones to get. I really, really appreciate you. Another love of the show to Jody, y'all. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's an off day, but you have a supportive husband. That's another thing, y'all. Having a spouse who supports your mental health is a cheat code. You know, we're not gonna go too like left into these topics that are happening nowadays. I go online and people are arguing over 50-50. What should the man pay? What should the woman pay? Blah blah. Or I see videos where women are like, "Oh, find you a man who is rich," and I see videos where guys like, "Find you a girl who's hot." I'm like, y'all need to find some people for your soul. Mickey Ficky, you know, because on a hard day, if you have a supermodel and she's a 10 out of 10 and she's not good for your mental health, you'll feel awful. And if you have a man who's extremely rich as a woman, but they're not good for your mental health, you know, you'll be in a relationship but you'll feel super lonely. So get people who are good for your soul, you know. Get people who are good for your soul. All right. And the second thing that we can do, Alexis, yeah, get people who are good for your soul. People who are good for your soul. You know, and I'm not saying that I'm like I've, you know, I've had some questionable choices when it comes to dating in the past. So I'm not no perfect person myself, but you know, now that I know better, I'm gonna do better, right? And the second thing that you can do when your mental health is low, the smallest thing to do to make you feel better, right? Literally the smallest thing that you can do. Like if I'm, let's say ADHD process has hit me and I cannot get up and I'm just stuck. What can make me feel good? Like I see the guitar in the back, so literally I go to the back. I'm like, all right. I'm telling myself, all right, I haven't left the house all day. I feel really, really bad, but the guitar is right here. And I love playing guitar. So literally, if I'm feeling bad, I can just whip this thing out and I can just play and it can make me feel better, right? Let's see. Are we tuned? Look at me getting carried away. That's why I just want to pick up the guitar. I'll get carried away and play for hours and hours and hours. But you get the point. You get the point. Like, I'm forgetting to talk to y'all. I can play that thing for like 4 or 5 hours. So if I feel bad and I can't do anything but get the dog out, I can play the guitar and say, all right, I did this small thing and it makes me feel better. We need a nice serenade. No, we do need to do karaoke. What am I learning this week in guitar lessons? We're learning Africa by Toto. So I need to master that song and come back and play that here for y'all. Brett says, I plumbed up a double vanity sink and all my faucets. I felt like I went a week. Well, you want to love the show. It's the love of the show right there. Get that home cooking. A comedy. I post some of my stand-up comedy clips on here. I'll go back and look through and post more clips and post a little bit more. Leilani says, it's a percentage you got that day. The other half takes a balance. Yeah, I agree. And once again, having a supportive spouse is a big cheat code. Like, I don't know how else to say that. Like, there's no other way to say it. Having somebody who is good for your mental health is a big, big, big cheat code. Like, I wouldn't even get into a relationship if the person wasn't good for mental health. And Jody says, my husband is so good to me and thanks you. But Jody, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for your husband. I'm grateful for both of y'all. You know, I'm happy that y'all found each other. You know, y'all are leading the way. So whatever y'all are doing, it's working. And we're just watching you and Leilani and everybody else who has a supportive partner. Y'all are leading the way for us. Take care of a living creature. Plants have done wonders for me the last couple of months. And this is a really good point that Mariella is making, right? It's really hard to be sad and needed at the same time. Now you can still be sad, right? But when you're needed and you have to do something for somebody else or some entity outside of yourself, it's a reminder that, oh wow, like people need me. Like if I can't get out of bed for myself, like I gotta get up and get the dog out. I gotta get up and take care of my plants, right? And having those external factors getting you up to do something that can be really helpful in the middle of a depressive episode. So that's a really good point. That for me is a hot bath if anxious, not if I'm overwhelmed, not lying. I think to myself, whoa. Trish, I like that. What would Kodo say to do? Then I take a minute and do that. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. That's neat. And sometimes you can talk to yourself. Like I do that as well. And this is not like a hallucination. This is just talking to myself. Like if I'm stuck and I need to eat, I say, Kojo, we need to eat. Kojo, let's go up and eat. Let's eat. Do we have food in the fridge? Okay, we have food in the fridge. That's fine. What's the closest place that we can drive to and get some food? All right, if we can't do that, let's do some DoorDash, something. I don't want to do DoorDash because it gets expensive, but what can we do to take care of ourselves, right? And then I say that out loud and I just do it. Really, really, really good point. Brett says the strong, tight hug from a significant other does empower you. Yeah. And Brett, I see somebody smiling. I'm not sure if that's your wife or it's somebody that you love in your picture, your profile picture. And it's very true. It's very true. Like we need to start dating for that. And I'm about to go on a rant and I'm about to go like the left field, but we need to start dating for our soul. We need to start dating for our soul, not for the superficial parts. You know, I think collectively as a society, we're all kind of guilty of, putting the wrong things on the pedestal, but we need to start dating for our soul, Mickey, Ficky. Hard for my husband and I, because sometimes we're both in the ups and downs, ups at the same time and downs at the same time. Have a hard time, be strong for each other. And Tanya, look, sometimes this is the simple stuff. It's literally the simple stuff. Like you could be going through it and he could be going through it, but just recognizing that and saying, hey, I'll sit with you. Like that goes a long way. It goes a long, long, long way. And Brett, sorry for your loss. That's my mother that passed away a year ago from the Hurricane Ian in Fort Myers, Florida. That's awful, Brett. I really hate to hear that. And your mom will be proud of you. And having your mom in your profile picture is a great way to keep her memory alive. And thank you for sharing with us. here on Facebook. Well, it's Facebook, LinkedIn, a couple of different places. But thank you for sharing with us. This is a close knit community, so you'll come to find that. Small things do make a big difference. It helps me when I'm judging myself. If I do one small thing, it shifts my self talk to you. Yeah, right. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. A small thing. And sometimes you might be going through like a 2 or 3 month span where you're just riding on the small wins. All you have is small wins, but at least you have a win. You know, you've helped me function better in my ADHD tremendously. I look at something on the floor, my just to leave it. I've got to start taking my advice with that right there. How's my gym crush? I haven't seen her in a long time. I switch the times that I go to the gym, so I hope she's okay. But she's probably somebody else's gym crush right now. But I hope she's doing good. I hope she's doing good. I can't seem to muster the courage to reach out to a professional, or even how I keep telling myself I should just suck it up and deal with it. So, Bridget, what you can do if you can't get up to a professional, that's fine for the time being. But you can do something small, a small win, something small that you can do to make yourself feel better about yourself, right? And that's actually the third tip, to find a small win. You got to find a small win. Find one small win. And Cameron, what's going on? I appreciate you. I love your feedback as well. I appreciate you. Sayonara says, when I get a haircut, it gives me more confidence. Yeah, same here. I got a haircut recently. Today was recording day, and I had a photo shoot and a couple of other things. So having a haircut was super cool for me. But yeah, find a small win. Find a small win. A small win. And we're gonna practice this right now. We're gonna practice right now. Let's find one small win that we did today, and let's put it in the chat. So this is an interactive exercise. Not just gonna be y'all, not just gonna be me, but one small thing that you did that you're proud of. I know it. I woke up this morning on my first alarm. This never happens. If you have ADHD and you wake up on the first alarm, that's a huge win. Huge win. Huge win. Huge win. So that's my small win. Let me put it in the chat. My small win is waking up on the first alarm. Hopefully I do it tomorrow. If I don't do it tomorrow, it's still a win, because that almost never happens for me, where I wake up on the first alarm, because I always put on like 6 or 7, because I know myself. I oversleep very easily. The answer is washing 1 cup. That's a small win. Showing this love and sharing the above. Gwendolyn, that's a small win right there. Perfect. Making your bed is a small win. I don't think y'all know how difficult it can be to make your bed sometimes. Because normally, like, you get up, or I get up and I just roll out the bed, without even like turning my swag on. I just get out the bed, But if you can get up out the bed and you're mindful enough to just make the bed, I'm telling you, making the bed is not as easy as people make it out to be. So making the bed that's a small one for sure. Tanya says, I stayed late to help a coworker because his birthday is tomorrow. It made me feel good. That's a small win. And keep in mind, helping other people is one of the best ways to help yourself. That's been one of the side effects of this whole experience for me. Like, coming out here to share information that I learned, through school for free, that helps me a lot. So keep in mind, helping out other people is always a good move. I'm on my second day of checking off my chores. I never make it to the second day on the list. That's a small win right there. I got out of bed before my husband this morning. Happens once in the blue moon. Well, this morning we had a blue moon in Tennessee. Congratulations. I stood up for myself, a lupus med I need for the 3rd time, and finally got it prescribed, and also protects the baby. Congratulations. You seem really happy, especially right now. I'm big in the vibes. Currently struggling mentally. Always have small steps just for today. Small thing I did. Click on the chat and give this a try. Usually I'll shy away from it being about mental health. Well, everybody, drop the clapping hands emoji from Marley in the chat. Marley, I'm happy to have you on. And today I am really happy. But happiness is such a fleeting feeling. Some days I'm really happy. Some days I'm sad. Some days I'm like energized. Some days I'm tired. So like I can't go off of like, oh, I have energy today. Today happened to be a very productive day for me. Like I got like all the three main priority stuff done. I was able to film some videos before I even got on here. So I'm happy, but not every day I get to be this productive. So I've had to learn that when I'm not productive, I still have to find a way to feel good about myself, right? My small win is getting enough sleep today, which is hard with a newborn. That's a small one right there. Go out of your way to give a stranger a compliment. It makes my heart swell to see them smile and feel good. Tracy, I like that. It makes me smile to even hear about you doing this. Got a good paying job finally and start tomorrow. Yeah. Christian, I know that feeling. It's so nice when you finally get a job, then you finally start the job, and now you can like take a break from all those calculations. Like when you were at the interview, you're like, all right, if I work like these 5 days a week, I work 8 hours, that's how much I'll make after taxes. Now you can start to finally make the money. So that's super cool. Let me see. I find myself constantly being told I'm doing well when I open up about things I'm struggling with. At least a lot of imposter. So Stella, it looks like the people that you're around, they're not validating you before they say whatever else they say, and it's important for people to be validated before you continue to say things, so that way you feel like you're not the only one going through it, and that can help with the imposter syndrome. Carla, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I wanted to play basketball after months and months of telling myself to get active. I almost passed out because of my eye shape, but I did it. Hey, it works. I want to know, did you win? Was it 5-on-5? Was it horse? Like, we need some more details on the basketball game. Marley, I appreciate you. Oh, from Australia. Okay, wow. That's super tight. It's already what, Tuesday over there. God knew I need you today. Trish, I'm happy to be back on. I'm very happy to be back on. Mrs. Cheryl, how are you doing? Yes, finding your purpose. I made a short video about suicide prevention myself, and I'm so glad you use your voice to help others. It's Mental Illness Awareness Week, and we should be talking about mental health like we do with physical illness. Mental health can have healing, hope, and recovery. Cheryl, love the show. Thank you for this comment, and I'm happy we're still talking about it. So today is October. We're in October, so suicide prevention awareness month was September. So even though that's over, it's still important for us to talk about suicide prevention and mental health, and it's Mental Illness Awareness Week this week. I'm not sure if I knew that, but now I do. It's also ADHD Awareness Month in October. So we're going to keep the good fight going. And what I realized is that people want to talk about mental health. Everybody wants to talk about it, but we don't know how to get the conversation going. So hopefully with, humor and entertainment, we can make things lighthearted and then get to the root of the issue and help out a lot of people. Rome, hey, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Any success that I have is success that belongs to the community. I promise y'all, because none of this happens without you all. So I really appreciate y'all. Shiesty, Zoe, come here. They want to see you. They want to see you, Zoe. Come on. Oh, she's tired. She's super tired. Sometimes I want to see a video or live about bipolar disorder. I don't have it, but I just want to know. Okay, cool. I take mental notes whenever I come on live stream. So, intrusive thoughts, bipolar disorder. That's all content that I can make for you. We won 5. All right, okay. Wow. So you're not as bad as you think at basketball. Y'all won 42-20. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's amazing, Christian. And I would send your content to my mother in the past because she knew it empowered me that people with ADHD aren't weird. Wow. Oh man, that's wild, Brett. Wow. I appreciate that. And yeah. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'm grateful that this content yeah, it reaches a lot of people. Yeah. I know your mother is proud of you, and I'm just happy that the content is able to cut through the noise on social media. But yeah, it means a lot to me that you all follow and share the ideas and the videos. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Brett. My small win, I guess, is finally brushing my teeth. It's a little embarrassing. I know I need to do it. It's so tiring for some reason. I always forget. No, that's something to be proud of. I'm telling you, brushing your teeth, taking a shower. These are all things that we take for granted. But when you get into a funk and you can't do either one, then you're like, oh wow, it's kind of hard to do these things. My small ones, I returned to my special local neighborhoods nature spot where I used to go. Oh, okay, that's what's up. Oh, it is time for a water break. But single parents and mental health. Mickey, y'all give me some good ideas. Single parents and mental health. Mickey, Fakey, and stay at home parent series. These are some good ideas. Thank you. I missed this live stream. Recovery month as well. Okay. Let's it's time for the water break. Let's go do the water break real quick, and then let's go ahead and I'll answer questions starting with Kim's. But let's do the water break real quick. 1 second. All right, all right, all right. We got our water. So we need to. So can somebody drop the magic word in the chat, and then we'll go ahead and get to it. So Leilani knows the magic word. Let me see. Where's the magic word? So come here. People want to see you. Up, up, up. Good, Shiesty. Yeah, there we go. There we go, Shiesty. Say hey, Zo. This is my baby right here. Zo, say hey. Trish want to see you. Zo's like, let me get some food. She's like, let me get some food to get out the way. The magic word is cheers. Ralph's is close to Kroger. Cheers, cheers, cheers. That's the magic word, y'all. Cheers. Let's drink up. Oh, I needed that. I needed that. I need. So clearly, as you can tell, I have not been drinking my water. So I guess another ADHD thing. I've not been drinking my water. Versus, how many times do you leave the house and have to go back in? Oh my gosh, Mickey Ficky. Brett, I do this all the time. I do this all the time. I left my wallet at the comedy club the other day. Fortunately, nobody stole my $7. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I leave the house without my phone, and then I'm like, then I'll try and like find my GPS. I'm like, okay, I don't have my phone on me. It's a real problem. It's a real problem. I'm still trying to figure out how to take care of things. I feel my anxiety med caused my depression. I thought anxiety and panic attacks were bad, but now those and depression and ADHD are debilitating. I have health anxiety, so I can't even get myself to doctors to talk about changing meds or just a general checkup. So, Kim, one thing that you could do is telehealth. A lot of people use telehealth, and that'd be very helpful for them, especially when you can't get out of bed. Like in my opinion, I feel like telehealth is very helpful, especially when you're dealing with depression. Because, like, I've always thought this. I don't know if other people think it, but I've always thought it. Like, let's say you're dealing with depression, you haven't showered, you don't like how you are at the moment, so it'd be hard for you to be in public around other people. I think telehealth is amazing. Like the fact that you can literally hop on an iPad, hop on your iPad and just, talk to your doctor like this. Like, hey, like I talk to my psychiatrist via telehealth, not because I'm ashamed to leave the house, just because it's more convenient. But I'll talk to her like this, like I'll put on a shirt and all that because I know how psychiatry works. I know they're looking at how I dress, So like I'll put on, I'll get dressed up, but then I'll just talk to her like this and give my updates, and then then we'll go to CVS and scoop up the meds and so on and so forth. How do I deal with depression, ADHD when being told by people that I don't look like I'm depressed or have ADHD? Well, number one, maybe get away from those people. But it could be somebody that you love. It's hard to get away from them. Uh, Respect their opinion much less while still respecting the person. It's a really hard thing to do. Like it could be your mom. You still respect your mom and love her, but respectfully, you understand that she's not right here. If that makes sense, right? So, yeah, Shiesty, that's my baby right there. Yeah, she's tired. She's had a day, a long day of screaming and terrorizing all of us. Yee! Ralph's and Kroger are owned by the same. I did not know that, but that makes sense just by seeing how Ralph's looks. Yeah, that's my dog, Shiesty. I do this so many times in the morning before school. I also have seven. Love to spend it. Hey, we gotta make that $7 stretch. I crushed 2 of those yesterday. Yeah, literally, that's why the water break is. That's why we do the water break. I'm not doing it on purpose to just chug water to look cool for y'all. I'm doing it because, like, I know that I forget to drink water throughout the day. So this is giving me. Imagine if I didn't go live today, or the past couple of weeks I haven't been going live. I've been dehydrated, probably. You know. Is depression curable with a certain mentality, or depression sometimes be treated with medication? All right, so you're not big on tablets and stuff. All right, so this is what I'll say: exercise, right, is a natural antidepressant. It can help out with depression. So can a good social support, people around you. Other things that can help out with depression include positive self-talk. But then when you're depressed, it's hard to do that. There's a lot of different ways that we can go about this, but medications, in my opinion, right? If you ask me, I think they can be very, very helpful, and it's something that I think we're fortunate to have. Now, of course, not all the meds work, but when they do work, I do believe that they're lifesavers. So I feel like we should use everything at our disposal to help people who are struggling. That's my 2 cents. How do you get over the fear of taking medication? I think I need for my OCD, and I keep putting it off. Where does it make me worse or something? So, Alexis, this is actually a normal concern people have, and you get to the point sometimes where you're like, all right, Alexis, you probably know. At some point, you get to the point where you're like, all right, even if the medication will make me worse, it's worth looking into it because the way that I'm living right now, I can't keep living like this, and that's how a lot of people end up, seeing a professional where they're like, all right, I have to do something, you know, and knowing what I know about the medications, I think that they can be very helpful. Finding a professional in your area who can put you on something, or maybe talk therapy. But meds, it's normal to be afraid of medications. Just that should make you feel better. Like you've never taken a medication before in your life for your mental health, and all of a sudden you're taking a pill, and you have to take the pill every single day. Make you feel that's a lot, So don't feel bad because it's something that you're naturally going to be afraid of. But I think it can be very helpful. What about coping with a spouse who's bipolar and won't treat it and takes it out on you and blames you for wanting to leave or go out and lie they're working? All right, so Trish, first of all, here's the thing with bipolar. If they're manic or they're not, as stable as they could be, then it's helpful to separate their actions from the person, because if they're manic, then whatever they're doing in that moment, that's not a true representation of who they are, right? So if they say something that hurts you, try and you can still be upset, but try and see where they're coming from, and then my very next thing to do would be to figure out the most linear path to getting them back to where they're stable, whether it's medications or therapy or like another check-in with the doctor. But getting them back to where they're stable is going to be very helpful. Jessica, just joining. So down today. Just feel lost and hopeless. All I do is mess everything up. Don't know my purpose. Well, Jessica, I'm looking at your picture right now. I'm gonna eyeball it. You're between 30 and or 25 and 40. Let me give myself a 15-year, window to be safe. You're between 25 and 40, I'm guessing, right? So let's just say you're 26. You said all I do is mess everything up. Have you tried everything? Just you haven't tried everything. You haven't tried, being a firefighter. You haven't tried playing the WNBA. You haven't tried accounting. You haven't tried all the different college majors. You haven't tried. There's so much you haven't tried, right? So the things that you've done so far, you haven't gotten the results that you want. So that means that we have to just keep going. But you're having a hard time going forward because you feel lost and hopeless. So we have to address that first. So we have to give you something to look forward to, and finding your purpose. When you're at a low, that's not the time to find your purpose, you know, because when you're at a low, everything is already difficult to do. So if somebody comes up to you and they're like, all right, we got to find a purpose. Like, what do you mean a purpose? Right now, you're just doing your best. So as long as you can give me your best, just give me your best, Jessica. Today on Monday, well, the day is over. Tomorrow, Tuesday, give me your best. Next day, give me your best. And if you just do that for a series of days and weeks, then that's the best that you can do. And then you should be proud of yourself, So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. How do you save your money? Because I spend mine every time. I have to get people involved. I'm not good with money, so I got to get professionals and accountants and stuff like that. I'm not good with money. Marley, we're happy to have you. Spring water hydrates me more. From Kroger. Good group. I'll go drink it. Yeah, Brett. I gotta remind myself to drink water. I'm a 75-year-old mother's hospice caretaker. Anything you recommend for someone the age? Well, so Jody, I don't know too much about like medical geriatric care, but I would say, of course, check in with her and see what she needs, but make sure you're taking care of yourself as well. So that way you don't get too burnt out with caregiver strain. So that way, whenever she tells you that she needs a certain thing, you're in a good position to provide it for her. Let me see. Maybe support. Yeah. Oh, you're replying to the previous comment. Mariella brings up a good, not all therapists would be a good fit. I agree with that. What do you think about trying different meds and having your doctor try different ones on you? So Christian, normally it's trial and error. Some people like to do genetic testing, and that can cut down on the work. I don't have that much experience with genetic testing, so I've had to do like, you see a patient, we try Prozac, don't work. All right, we try Zoloft, don't work. All right, Celexa, all right, don't work. All right, move on to different class of medications. Effexor doesn't work. All right, Wellbutrin. Like we would try this a million times until we get it right. It's kind of like me being a Titans fan. Like I'm gonna support the team every year until we win a Super Bowl, and until we win Super Bowl, I'm gonna keep supporting the team. So the same way, we tried a medication, it doesn't work. We keep trying, we keep trying, we keep trying. And that process can be quite frustrating. So just understand that your doctor's doing their best to help you out, and just do your best to count the small wins while you're trying to work on that. Manic episodes make us delusional, not intended. Right. There's a lot of psychosis that comes with manic episodes. So it's helpful to be kind to the person that's going through it. Christian, that makes 2 of us. Probably 28 of us who don't like pills. How do you help the people you live with understand that depression is real and sometimes uncomfortable? Tara, by speaking your truth and encouraging them to speak their truth. One thing that I realized about myself is I gravitate towards people who tell the truth. Some people, people have their own reasons for not being as upfront, but I like people who can tell the truth. Like if you're going through it and you let me know, then like we're in a different wavelength, because you were going through a hard time and you still told me. I'm like, wow, we're really on that level, if that makes sense. Because most people will like go through something and won't tell anybody about it. And then you'll feel like, oh, wow, like they're perfect. I'm not perfect. That's why I make it a point to talk about all the things that I struggle with. When I realize that I'm dealing with something that people are dealing with, I'm like, I should make a video about this. I should make a video about that. Kind of like the video I made, was it a week or 2 ago, where I talked about, being addicted to and or struggling with, marijuana. I had to put that out there because kids message me all the time about, I'm trying to quit this, I'm trying to quit that, but I can't get over it. And I'm like, let me stop capping. Let me tell the truth because these kids could probably benefit from me sharing my experience, right? So not everybody is upfront, and not everybody's on their own journey, So just let it be what it is. But for me, like when I moved from Virginia, I left my job to come out to California to do this thing full time and create a platform and a brand. I told myself that, yeah, you're gonna go to California and Hollywood and all this stuff, but do your best to tell the truth. Like I have a responsibility to the people that follow me to be as transparent as possible. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let me see. How you deal with depression crash after mania wears off? Schizophrenic bipolar 2. Bonus question: how you deal with new diagnosis? All right, so let me take the second question first. Deal with a new diagnosis. Really good question. The first thing that I would do is I would throw away your perception of that diagnosis, right? And what you think that represents, or let's just take schizoaffective disorder, right? Let's say you're diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder. Whatever you think a person with schizoaffective disorder looks like, and you have that condition, release all previous preconceived notions about it. Because when you think of somebody who has schizoaffective disorder, even the name sounds a little harsh. Think about that. Schizo. Like when people hear that, the average person, they're like, oh my gosh, like, are they hearing like people get scared of that stuff. But then I can show you people who have schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, bipolar disorder, who work. They have amazing relationships. They have kids. They take care of their kids. They drive. They do everything that everybody else does, like normal people stuff. I don't know what normal is, but like no, you know what I'm saying. Normal, for lack of a better term. And this person, the whole time, they have bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, and you would never know it. They're living amongst us. They're doing everything that we do. You go to a football game, they're there, right? Like they do every single thing that we do, just that they have a mental health condition that they have to privately manage, that a lot of people might be embarrassed about. So just understand that it's your truth, but your condition doesn't define you. Like I was on TikTok live today and somebody was asking me a question. They were like, Coach, how does somebody with ADHD and so make new friends? I said, don't worry about the ADHD part. Throw that away. It doesn't define you. Tell me about yourself. Like, who are you as a person? And then let me help you, because we can't let these diagnoses define who you are as a person. You just have schizoaffective disorder. That's all. You're not a crazy person. You're not a wild person. You only have this condition. It's like somebody who has diabetes. They're just diabetic. They just need some insulin. It's that simple. It's that simple. All right, I'm going on a rant. Sorry. The depression crash after mania wears off. So this is a really good question right here. From what I know about bipolar disorder, the mania is super fun. It's super fun. We're spending money. We're chasing dopamine. We're driving our cars fast. We're having sex. All that stuff sounds very fun to me. I'm like, that sounds fun, right? But we know it can be a little bit dangerous, so we have to manage that, right? But when you come back down, there's normally nothing exciting about bipolar depression. Whereas, the mania part is fun, but the depression part, there's nothing exciting about it, because now you are safer, but you can't get anything done. You can't get a single thing done, So now your self-esteem, and this is something that I struggle with too. Like whenever I'm not productive, I start to feel worse about myself. I'm like, all right, let's do something, right? But if you're depressed and you're trying to feel good about yourself, but you can't because you can't do a single thing, that's when it becomes very, very, very helpful to do the three things that we talked about earlier: hanging around positive people, doing the smallest thing that you can do to make yourself feel better, finding one small win. That's going to be very helpful. And having people around you when you're going through bipolar depression is very, 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 very helpful, because something as small as like taking the trash out. Like if y'all been depressed before, like y'all have gone through a low, imagine like the time when you had no energy and somebody came up and like, all right, I'll take the trash out for you. I'll fold the clothes for you. I'll take out the laundry. Like whoever did that for you, that person is like the president. That person is your everything, because at that time those tasks were really hard for you to do. So I'll say lean into your support system, and you have to find different ways to be kind to yourself, especially when the mania wears off. Kind of a long-winded answer, sorry, but I hope that gave you something. Hopefully. Um, Julie, anytime. I think it's important to be honest. It's important to be honest. That's all I want to do. Like, and I tell people all the time, like, I want y'all to know that my intent is pure. Like, I'm gonna come out here, whether there's 30 people, whether there's 3,000 people, and I'm not doing this for clicks. I'm doing this because I want to make an impact, and I actually enjoy this. We've been out here for 51 minutes. I'm trying to think of. I can play guitar for 51 minutes straight. I can watch football for 51 minutes straight. But there's not a lot of things that I can do for 51 minutes straight without like paying me. So like I actually enjoy this, and y'all are here too. So like thank y'all for your attention. I feel like I shouldn't tell people stuff about me because they might make fun of you. Well, they might. That's why you don't talk to everybody. Not everybody is our friend. Not everybody's our friend. Patients are losing months of their lives while you try different meds. Look into pharmacogenetic. So, Kristen, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but it's not as practical. Everybody can't access this. And if you have a chance to do this type of testing, sure, let's go ahead and do it. But the reason why I don't like put it out there for everybody is because sometimes like people just aren't able. It's not feasible for the average American. But if it's right up your alley, yeah, let's Kristen, let's please let's do it. How do I prepare myself mentally to come off of anxiety meds? Well, Abby, I'll say this. If you've never come off of anxiety meds before, keep in mind you've never done this experience before. So allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling and prepare yourself for the uncomfortable and the unknown, which is something that we learned during COVID. We had to prepare for the unknown. So all of those coping skills that you used back then, or whenever you were going to a new venture, try and pull them out now. And also, you got to be nice to yourself. Have a spouse that seems to have a different take on reality. He demands apologies for imaginary transgressions, which I refuse. And this led to 3 weeks of silent treatment. I'm so tired. Is this bipolar? So, Phoenix, from what you've described right here, like because we can't diagnose people on Facebook or LinkedIn Live or whatever, but if you were in the office and this is all the information that I had, somebody demanding apologies for imaginary transgressions, 3 weeks of silent treatment, I would not have enough to diagnose somebody as bipolar with this information. Now they could have it. Maybe there's a Mac episode somewhere or hypomania that we don't see because we don't have the full picture. But just based off of this right here, that would not meet the criteria for bipolar disorder. All right. And let me see. Jewel, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. When I get out here, I just get so excited. I got so many videos for y'all. I got so many videos for y'all. There's a societal norm. Yeah. A diagnosis is just a name for the symptoms you're living with. Mariella, this is a love of this show right here. That's all it is. It shouldn't be our whole personality. Is this who it is? Like, I see myself as a regular Mickey Ficky with ADHD. That's all. I'm not like an ADHD. I'm just a regular Mickey Ficky who has ADHD. That's all. That's all. I just like medication myself, but after spending 2 years off, you get tired of running back into the house 4 times before actually leaving. So moved from Illinois to Florida after Hurricane Ian to take over my mother's business. What a wild ride. Brett, I mean, if you're living with ADHD, you know how difficult this thing is. And yeah, we don't like the meds at all. We don't like the meds at all, but we know what it does for us, and I have an opinion, which I don't know if it's unpopular or not, but screw it, it's my opinion. And I turned this into a joke that I did this past weekend at the comedy club, but I really feel like people with ADHD should be allowed to apply for the handicap parking tag. I don't know what y'all think, but I feel that way. And I got to preface it by saying, when I'm on my meds, I think I'll be fine. I don't need the handicap parking tag. Like I'm good. I can function as a working member of society. But when I'm not on the medications, I might need 3 handicap parking tags. So it's just a thought. Just a thought. I don't know. I don't know. Just a thought. I might have to look into a couple of Reddit threads and see who agrees with me and who disagrees. But it's just a thought that I've had, and I might have to write a letter to the governor's office, or I might have to run for office myself. But I think we need a handicap parking tag. I said it. I said it. I think we need a handicap parking tag, potentially. You work sideways. I try to park the best that I can, but sometimes my parking can be a little erratic. Joel, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I found vulnerability has helped a lot. Not other, but me. So Marley, I agree with that. And that's why, once again, going back to having a partner who is good for your mental health, it's such a cheat code. It's such a cheat code. Like why would you be with somebody who is bad for your mental health? And like obviously, like nobody intends to do that. You just really wake up one day and you're like, oh my gosh, this person's a narcissist, you know. But nobody nobody intends to do that. Tanya, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Brett, I'm telling you, sometimes the parking is yeah, like I've paid a lot of money when it comes to parking tickets. And I got like 2 tickets. I paid one and I'm waiting for the other one to show up in the little thingy. But yeah, look, Brett, it's my life. Like I've accepted that this is my life. So shoot. It's gonna happen. Let's make it. Let's make the best of it. It happens. It happens. Let me see. Uh, he drinker. Trish, I think it'd be very helpful to see if you can find some type of professional help, especially with you being pregnant. This is where I think just getting some clarity in this situation will be very helpful for you. Mani says autism, ADHD, expressive language disorder. I've learned so much about her diagnosis. Jewel, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Like when I get these, I'm telling y'all, like y'all give me energy. Y'all give me energy. And what I do sometimes, like when I have a day where I don't have to leave the house, I might take like 6 hours and just bash these videos. And I'm like, oh, okay, ADHD, autism. Or I'll think about something that happened to me. Or like when somebody says, did you take your meds today? I'm like, oh, I didn't like the way that felt. Oh, I should make a video about that. So thank you your feedback is amazing. Y'all give me energy to make this content. I know this doesn't have to do with what you're talking about. My boyfriend just got diagnosed with schizophrenia, and I don't know how to be there for him during his episodes. Ooh, no, this does have to do with what I'm talking about. I have something to say about this, Emily. What I gotta say is, do your best to be supportive, right? Of course, research the condition. And look, I have to make some more schizophrenia videos. Like I don't make enough. I will say that. And only 1%, I don't have to say only, but 1% of the population here in the US has schizophrenia. So, it kind of falls behind. We talk about everything else, ADHD and anxiety and depression, but we forget about schizophrenia, right? But what you can do is educate yourself, number one. My videos, but there's so many other people who post amazing content about schizophrenia online. So please do your research and follow anybody who's posting helpful information for you. And the second thing that I would say is just being there for him and not treating him like he's a crazy person, for lack of a better term, is going to be very helpful. Because keep in mind, right, your boyfriend, he's an adult. Like when he tells his friends, hey, I got schizophrenia, what do you think that they're going to say realistically? Like, let's just be real here, because we can be real here. You tell somebody you have schizophrenia, especially in dating. Oh my gosh! Like the average person is going to be like, because people are afraid of what they can't comprehend. But you're dating him. You see that he's not a monster. It's just a mental health condition. It's just a thought disorder. It's harder for him to organize his thoughts than the average person. That's all. So you just sitting there with him as he's going through it, that goes a long way. Learning about the medications, say, hey, babe, I know you got to take this shot once a month or these pills, boom, boom, boom. Like just being there, you can be that golden person for him. And even you coming on this last year to ask a question, it lets me know that you're headed in the right direction. You know, and, yeah, look, and it can be terrifying. It can be terrifying, but just the fact that you're there for him, like that makes me happy. I feel like he's in a good position. Probably the best ability is not to beat ourselves up over mistakes that may be related. Brett, this deserves the love of the show. And I'll probably end with this, but this is I can't tell you how important this is, and for me, this is probably the hardest thing for me to learn because I wouldn't call myself a perfectionist, but I like things to get done. Or I hate perseverating over the same thing over and over. Like if I say I'm going to do something and it's not done a week later, that just pisses me off, right? So I've had to learn that, okay, if I can't get something done or if I keep making a certain mistake, I'm like, all right, I've been overwhelmed. I forgot this. I forgot that. I'm just doing the best that I can. I'm just doing the best that I can. And that gives me a certain level of peace, which allows me to make it to the next day and so on and so forth. But unfortunately, we have to learn this. We got who's going to teach you this? Nobody will tell you this. You have to learn it through trial and error. And unfortunately, sometimes going through a period of time where you're not, being nice to yourself, and then over time, we learn to do better. So yeah. Emily, shoot. Um, Forget that. Send me. Let me see. Emily, send an email to uh, assistant at codosoccer.com. Emily, I got something better for you. I got something for you. Hold up, Emily. I got something for you. I got some. Send an email to my assistant. I'm gonna send your boyfriend a free book. All right. So send one to email to my assistant, assistant at codersoftware.com. Give me a good address. Let me know his name, and I'll go ahead and sign the book for him. Help him out, so that way he knows that we got his back. Tanya, you can use the link in my bio to buy the book, or you can just Google "Feeling Good" Coder Software. But the link in my bio should have the book. Stop procrastinating. Yeah, the procrastination part is real. It's real. It's real. Yeah, but the book is called "Feeling Good." And Emily, yeah, let me send it to him so that way he knows that a lot of people care about him and support him. So that will do it for today's live stream. We've been doing these twice a week, but as my schedule is settling, I have to figure out how consistent I can keep this up. We can do this at least once a week on Monday nights. So I'll be back Monday at 6 p.m. California time, 9 o'clock on the East Coast. 6 o'clock California time, 9 o'clock on the East Coast next week. And if we have the opportunity to do so, then I'll announce and we'll do some bonus shows throughout the week. But this is the beginning of the Monday shows because normally it was Tuesdays. So yeah, I'll see y'all next week, Monday. Real quick, Rose said, hey, all right, okay. Let me ask you this question real quick. But congratulations, Rose, on a year of being sober. Loneliness. What I'll say is, if you're sober and you're struggling with it, finding an activity to keep yourself occupied is going to be helpful. So connecting with people over golf, tennis, football, anything is probably going to be helpful, because if you hang around people or your old friends or people who enjoy drinking and things like that, it's going to be really awkward when like they're all drinking and you're just like kind of like looking around, and like, oh, you don't drink, and you're like, I'm sober, So just keep that in mind. April, yeah. April, let me get your question real quick, April. I'm trying to squeeze it on in. That's that ADHD. You always feel like you can beat the clock, you know? April, let me get your question to April real quick. Let me see if I can. Oh, Trish, good point. Yeah, I'll get the dog out. Thank you for letting me know. Christian, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. And congrats on the job. Rose, anytime. Is April going to throw in her question? Shiesty. Zoe, come here. Well, I guess she's not here. But April, next week, Monday, 6 p.m. California time, 9 o'clock on the East Coast, I will be back. All right. No. I got you. How to handle when someone tells you they are on the verge of being a psycho. I don't understand that. I love going to the park to skate everybody. It helps me. Kayla, that's a good point. April, I don't understand this. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. But April, I'll tell you what. Send a message. I'll get my assistant to fish it out of the messages, and we will address it next week because I do have to dip out and make sure that this dog pees. But yeah, DM me that question, and I'll have somebody in the team fish it out. So once again, thank you so much for your attention. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you all next week. Love y'all. Take care. Oh, wait. It says version of psychosis. Okay, all right. Hold up. Don't take her just yet. Kayla, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Kayla. Bird of psychosis. Back to be Mac. Oh, okay. All right, okay, cool. So someone tells you that they are on the verge of being psychosis. All right, so this is what you gotta do. If somebody's coming up to you and they're telling you that they're on the verge of being psychotic, or about to have psychosis, or they're feeling like they're manic, what you want to do is figure out what's the closest help that you have. Because normally this doesn't happen in my experience. Normally you have to either know what the symptoms look like, or you have to be able to catch them as they do something that shows that they're clearly manic or they're psychotic. Like if they're talking to themselves and they're hallucinating, okay, they're already there. If their behavior is erratic, then they're already there, right? But if they're on the verge of getting there, you want to find help as soon as possible. Because the reason why a manic episode is will land you in the psych hospital. Like I said, this is probably the most fun period of any mental illness of all time. You're spending a lot of money, you're drinking a lot, probably using substances, could be having a lot of sex, a lot of risky behavior. It's super fun, but the consequences can be quite severe, right? So the moment that they tell you that they're on the verge of feeling like they're psychotic, that's when you have to get help. So this is the moment where you want to intervene as soon as possible and see if you can get them to at least the ER if possible. Because you might not know what mental health place to take them to, but if you can get them to an emergency room, then they can take it from there, and they'll point guard the rest of the way and let you know where to go. So thank you, chat, for helping her out, because I was like, I don't know what she's talking about. Psychosis. Okay. All right, y'all. So I gotta get this dog out. April, anytime. I'm thank you, chat, for being able to catch this question. So yeah, your son. Take the straightest line possible to find some help. And I appreciate you as well, and I'm hoping that everything works out for you and your son and your family. So until next time, y'all, I love y'all. I'll see y'all next week, Monday. Peace.